Welcome to the Cosmic Echoes with me, Michelle Cheyne, and Sue Brayne. It's lovely to see you on this very, very, very special day. I feel like Christmas almost.
I know. Well, it's my new year. It's the witch's
Yeah,
new year today. And this is why I've chosen this background because it's the thinning of the veil. It's when the ancestors walk in the world of the living. It's got that wonderful, it just feels very special today, actually. I
yeah,
think for me, it's the most special day of the year
mm,
because it is this sense of honoring those who've been, the ancestors,
mm,
and also honoring our own mortality as we're experiencing this life experience, this physical experience, and then honoring those who are going to come after us.
yeah,
So I just find this such a sacred day. And I have my candle lit for my ancestors all day
mm,
and for my own mortality and for those who are coming after me. And this beautiful ceremony or sacred day has been celebrated for thousands and thousands of years. And obviously, traditionally, it's called the Day of the Dead. That's where the Mexicans have these fabulous parties, and they all dress up as in skeletons, and they're not afraid to embrace their mortality. And the Italians do the same. There's cultures all over the world
mm,
celebrating the thinning of the veil, that this is a most sacred day. So for me, I don't buy into Halloween and trick and treat. It
yeah,
doesn't work for me. And I know the kids love it, but it isn't for that. It
mm,
is this sense of understanding our mortality and how life is just passing through. And
yeah,
soon we will be going through that veil.
yeah. And the connection, you kind of feel more connected. Well, maybe it's just me and my Wi-Fi is off, so it's wonderful. Um, but you do feel more connected to the bigger picture. There is more than just us in our human experience. There is another element to this existence, which is it's nourishing, in a way.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's beautiful because I think also, this is a sort of time of going in, isn't it?
Mm,
It's the time of Scorpio, and
yeah.
when tomorrow is the new moon in Scorpio, and
Mm,
Scorpio is and because it's ruled by Pluto, and Pluto is the lord of the underworld, where we're taken down into the shadow of our being, and it's like as if the whole earth, deep into the earth, but within the earth are these incredible new seeds that start arising
mm,
after the time of Scorpio. But it's a very powerful, really powerful new moon in Scorpio, um, principally because the two rulers, that's Pluto and Mars, are bang opposite each other on the 5th of November. That is during the day of the elections, and Pluto opposite Mars, that's explosive.
yeah.
And
Because
we
Mars
don't
is the god of war. It's all these things. Pluto is death and rebirth.
survival,
Yeah,
the truth.
yeah.
So there could be that. Obviously, I've been looking at the astrology of the election and Donald Trump's chart and
Mm,
Kamala Harris's chart, and it's a tight race.
yeah.
Nobody knows what's going to come because there's a lot of Uranus involved in
Mm,
both their charts, which is the surprise. Uh,
mm,
but this is this huge time at the moment with the new moon, which is real, Mars war opposite power, the
mm,
power of state, the power of corruption, all the lies, all the sort of the bullying, the real shadow that's come to light during this election run. And yes, I think it's going to be very interesting to see how this turns out. And I, for me, I'm asking the ancestors to come and put soothing hands on all our shoulders.
Yeah, because it's also the power of the people, isn't it?
Yes.
And I think that is something we're moving into more and more, especially in this November. It's a big month, the 5th of November. It's funny for me because it's also Guy Fawkes Day, isn't it? It's bonfire
Yes.
night. It's
More
it's big.
spark.
It's
More,
like
yep.
yeah, yeah. It's this big thing. It's
Yeah.
just and then in later in the month on the 19th, Pluto is going into Aquarius for the next 20 years, which is also
It's a
people
huge
oriented.
shift. So
Huge.
this opposition could
Mm,
be the last massive boom. I mean, the opposition is going to last and off and on. There's going to be two more hits
yeah,
until April, but this is the big. On the 5th. That's the big to the minute opposition.
so this is going
Really
to be
time,
interesting. Yeah,
very intense.
yeah.
And it's very synchronicity that's all
Synchronistic.
happening over the new moon in Scorpio. Let's get down and dirty. Let's get everything up to the surface. So there's going to be a lot of deaths and rebirths going
Yeah.
on.
Which is also part of this Samhain or Samhain kind of time, which it was usually celebrated after sunset on the 31st into the 1st of November. So it's this thinning of the veil, it's this connection, and even longer back, thousands of years, it was the time when the Pleiades, Pleiades came, rose to the highest point and were seen and made such an impact on people as well. Um,
Yes.
even
Well,
if we go, yeah,
I
sorry.
think they were the Pleiades is such a beautiful myth.
Mm,
Basically they were seven sisters, and uh Atlas was their dad, and remind me who their mum was.
Cleone, Cleone, she was a nymph, I think.
She was a water nymph, or the water nymph of the ocean.
That's it.
Orion, naughty Orion, was
Mm,
trying to capture them and
mm,
seduce them, and Zeus basically, I think he first changed them into butterflies or
yeah,
birds,
yeah.
and then for them to be safe, he
Mm,
created he put them as
it's-
stars and created this
yeah.
beautiful. Oh, it's such a lovely constellation. Every time I look up there, I feel, oh, it's all right.
And
But
and we can see them from tonight, really. I mean,
yes,
they fascinate me, and we kind of dove into them a bit in the Wisdom Seekers in May, because May is also named after one of the sisters, Maya, who's
Maya.
very shy and creative. She actually had a child with Zeus, Hermes. Who plays up in our discussions as well, as Mercury, as this messenger,
Yeah.
um, and yeah, there's just a magical connection, I think, that we have, to the stars, to the earth at this time, to our ancestors, to what comes before, we came before, is coming after. It's all kind of swirling
Yeah.
like your background into, our experience over the next day.
And also, for anyone who doesn't really want to delve into the myths, Lucinda Riley, she was an Irish authoress. She wrote the most amazing set of books, 7 books called The Seven Sisters, and they are the best read ever. And she names each sister after one of the fixed stars in the constellation.
Mm,
And I can't recommend them more highly, or her writing ability more highly. She actually died writing the last book, and her son finishes the last book, and that brings all the stories together. So if you're looking for something over the winter for those long drawn out evenings,
mm.
Lucinda Riley, start nestling into the Seven Sisters. You'll have a wonderful
Yeah,
winter. So
yeah.
just to say, I mean, I think just to say that the Pleiades really hold they hold hope for me,
Mm,
intuition, healing, spiritual growth,
mm,
insight, secret knowledge. It's kind of like the high priestess. They hold that energy of the high priestess card. So that sort of sense of spiritual communication.
Yeah.
So what I'd say to anyone, if things start to get really unpleasant, which let's hope they don't, but there is potential here,
Mm.
look up and remember the seven sisters. They're looking
And
after us.
yeah, and it's that divine feminine, isn't it? Coming to us. It's that nurturing. We are moving into a time now in the Northern Hemisphere where there's a sense of grief, there's a sense of sorrow, there's a sense of all these things as we kind of go in and yeah, explore them within ourselves. But it is a cyclical process, and it is, it is part of our existence to connect to this grief, the loss of the light, the loss of the outside world, really. So there's nothing wrong within that exploration, I think.
Absolutely. And it's to be really acutely aware of the cycles of life and
Mm,
the cycles of the seasons because they show us the human condition.
yeah, yeah.
Can't go through life without experiencing loss and melancholic
Mm,
depression. It's
mm,
all part of our human experience, and it's we're living in this mad sort of TikTok crazy Facebook world, which everything's fine. Look what I'm eating. Isn't this all lovely? And life isn't like that. It's
yeah.
full of seasonal cycles and experiences, but in the time of Scorpio, Scorpio's about survival. It's a
Mm,
really powerful message about that.
mm,
So I would just say to anyone that is struggling, it's all right. Support yourself, get yourself on vitamin D and
yeah.
any supplement that,
Magnesium.
yeah, go for
Yeah,
lots of walks,
yeah.
all of that, and open your arms to the fact that this is the time that the veil is thin.
Yeah, and your heart. I mean, we need connection to each other. Have those dinners around the table and really connect. And tomorrow, the moon and the sun are in Scorpio on the same side, aren't they?
Yes,
Um,
absolutely.
so that's quite
Yeah,
special.
yeah. So
Mm,
new moons is new seeds.
yeah,
So it's a really good time to set intentions tomorrow about, okay, what do you need to get rid of to actually create something for yourself?
yeah,
So it is a great time to just think about in the darkness,
mm,
just to think about something that can sustain you through the dark time, the dark days
yeah,
are coming.
yeah,
And I'm talking physically. Let's
mm,
hope that's not metaphorically. Um, and and also what I would say to anyone, it's a very volatile time astrologically. So if you feel you're being pulled into arguments or you find yourself in a situation you're feeling, I don't want to be here, just listen. This is a time of survival. So
mm,
just really attune to your survival instincts.
yeah. Um, and Scorpio, I mean, Scorpio is a wonderful, I love November. I'm a Sagittarius, so that's coming up later, but Scorpio feels to me very, there's knowledge, there's
Oh,
wisdom, there's
yeah.
experience, there's all these things that we can kind of rely on. There's a reliability within Scorpio.
It's deep, it's meaningful, it's what is my truth?
Yeah,
Pulls you down into who you are. Aquarian is all about universal truth. So Aquarians are always looking up,
yeah,
always looking up, always looking to the future. But Scorpios are always looking down into it's the fixed water. Oh my God, what type? But I want to go down there and see what's in there.
yeah.
It has got that. And that's what we should be doing as human beings is honoring each cycle so that we can really use it well. So when the turn of the light comes, whoa, we're in a different space.
Yeah, exactly. Because we are going deeper and deeper. It's the spiral. I'm fascinated by the spiral, as
Yeah.
anyone that knows me, and the triskelion and that aspect of the three and the divinity and you know, and there's a lot of breakdown down to break through aspects to that, embracing the shadow, which we're really going into now. I
Well,
know
I tell you, there's
Mercury,
going to be a lot of breaking down and breaking through with this Jupiter, this
Pluto.
what's Jupiter, Mars
Oh
opposite.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So
and
listen to your intuition.
mm,
Just listen. Yeah, it'll keep you safe. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and it keep you connected. It's that know
Yes.
thyself, you know. It's important. It's
Yeah.
really very important.
Yeah.
Um,
I just want to say something that Mars the is in Cancer,
mm,
and Mars in Cancer can fight in families,
mm,
Pluto, control issues. So yeah, as I said, it can bring everything like that to the surface over the next 6 months, actually, but particularly now. And Mars in Cancer can be very overprotective.
mm,
You can find yourself in situations where you're not really being allowed to breathe your own breath,
mm,
or it can be very protective over the homelands. So
mm.
there can be a lot of wanting to go and march for my rights.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Which
so
is also kind of fills in with this Pluto going into Aquarius, because it is about the people and
yeah,
moving away from these systems,
yeah,
these,
the
yeah,
old ways.
the
Yes.
old ways into the new ones.
The patriarchal way of doing things is kind of it's going. We don't know where
Yeah,
it's going, but I think that is, God, I hope, well, I mean, there's a lot of good in that because
yeah,
we need the maturity of Capricorn, absolutely the
yeah.
adult of Capricorn, but not the overwhelming. You've got to do it this way, or we're going to put you in prison. That's not good.
Yeah, yeah, my way or the highway kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
I'm lucky. I have my sun is in Sagittarius and my moon is in Capricorn. Or not lucky, interesting. Moon is in Capricorn, and then I have Aries ascendant. So
yeah.
it's an interesting combination.
It is, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Well,
um,
yeah. So, I mean, that really leads us into the full moon because the full moon is it going to be in on the 15th.
yeah, yeah,
What is interesting about this full moon is that we have around this time we've also got Saturn going stationary direct. So at the moment, Saturn's in Pisces going backwards.
yeah,
Now it's going to be very, very powerful time with uh, with this sense of Saturn when it stations, it's like it's got knobs on. And I
mm,
and I always look at Saturn as a manifester, and it's in Pisces, which is Pisces is about spirituality. It's the spiritual process. It's the creative process. It's also self-destructive because it can be very addictive. But I
mm,
like to think that Saturn is manifesting strong spiritual
mm,
morals on this planet, and as it goes through uh, Pisces. Other astrologers might disagree with me on that, but that's what my take on it is.
yeah,
Gregory talks a lot about the flooding that's come. That's Neptune Pisces, and that's Saturn Pisces. And I think there's a lot more to come, unfortunately. I don't think we're finished with that yet. So there is this sense of, well, things are manifesting, that's for sure. And we're being
yeah,
made to look at our vulnerability and that nowhere is safe like it used to be.
yeah,
Getting swept away, if you
yeah.
look at it metaphorically. I mean, what's happened in Spain is,
Oh, I see. I don't watch the news, so I don't even know.
oh my gosh, I've
Yeah,
never seen photographs like it. It was shocking.
mm,
It's near Valencia, and
yeah,
the photographs of cars just, they're just, I mean, I've never seen a deluge like it. It's, they've lost, maybe well over 100 people have died. So
oh wow,
they're just, the flooding has been just horrendous, actually.
yeah,
And that could happen to us here. So we
yeah,
have to be really focused and inward journeying about how do I build resistance during these very turbulent times? What's
Mm.
my inner resilience?
Yeah.
Can I count on my,
With nature.
sorry?
With nature.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Whatever it is to you,
Mm.
in nature, absolutely. But it may be you need to do some inner work, or you find a safe place within yourself. You create that safe place within yourself where you can go, or you
Yeah.
have a favorite teddy bear, or I don't know, whatever it is for you, or
Yeah.
an old jumper that you put on and you just go, I feel safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel soothed. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
We're building up to the full moon on the 15th, which is lovely. It's in Taurus, lovely, stable, gorgeous Taurus, and we have it. Just before we get into that, November the 15th, the moon is called the Beaver Moon
Yeah.
traditionally, because in the days that were, that's where the beavers started preparing for winter. And I love the little beavers. Um, but it's the final super moon of 24. So again, the moon's going to be big.
Yeah.
And Taurus is about stability. It's about kind of getting what we want
Mm.
and what we've longed for, that kind of thing. And it's great to ask the universe for anything that we may have been wanting.
Mm.
But it comes with a health warning. It's right conjunct Uranus.
Uh,
Yeah. So this is
surprises and things.
it's going to come with big surprises,
Yeah.
big upheavals again. Possibly it could come with, especially after the elections, there could be financial issues. And
Mm.
I'd say to anyone, I don't like fear mongering.
Mm.
Just make sure you've got food in the house and water, bottled
Mm.
water over this next little month or so.
Mm.
Just,
Yeah. Just
Taurus is
yeah.
food. It's sustenance, it's land,
Mm.
it's that kind of home. It's mine. So if there could be a massive upset, there could be.
Yeah.
So
Well, change comes with upset, doesn't it?
it,
Breakdown to breakthrough
yes,
is
yes.
very true, and it's interesting that the Pleiades also live in Taurus, don't they?
It's naught
Yeah.
degrees Gemini. It's
Ah,
naught
okay.
degrees. So it's right at the edge of Taurus.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's beautiful. So I would say that, I mean, the great thing about Taurus is it's stubborn.
Yeah. It's that bull in the field. You created this image for me of the bull in the field eating his grass and just yeah.
He doesn't, there he is. And
Yeah.
so it doesn't like change. It's
Mm.
fixed earth. So it's mine. I've got my
Yeah.
glass of wine in one hand, I've got my cows in the other, and I'm a happy bull. It's got that vibe. Don't come and disturb me because I'm really interested in munching my grass and just looking at the flowers. And,
Yeah.
I'm enjoying my life.
Yeah.
Don't bother me with stuff. But Uranus is just going, sorry, mate. That
I
is
got
a,
my work to do and you got your work to do.
and don't forget that Taurus is very linked to do with our values,
Mm. Yeah.
morals, our values, and kind of and our self-worth. It's ruled by Venus. Venus
Ah,
is about
okay.
beauty. So it's all about, really about self-worth. We
Mm.
may be confronted with situations happening in the world that's going to really question our values. I know
Mm.
we are at the moment, by the way, in
Yeah.
lots of different ways, but I think it's going to come to a head then. Yeah.
And it's right before that Pluto moving into Aquarius. I mean, this month is quite an interesting one. Yeah.
Shifting. It's a
Yeah.
shift. We've got to go down and
Yeah.
then,
Mm.
God, I just hope the shift into Aquarius, the air sign,
Mm.
which is light. I just hope it's going to I mean, it's going to bring its own problems, but I don't think it's going to be this desperately heavy stuff. And maybe with the shift into Aquarius, which is about humanity, that these horrendous wars
Yeah.
that we are complicit in without our permission,
Yeah.
uh, I just pray that they will find a way out through the air, through the communication.
Oh, wouldn't that be just amazing? I really feel there's such a draw to newness, even to carry on with what is being created, but in a new way,
Yes.
in a different from a different angle.
Yeah.
So especially with all these wars, I mean, there are so many. None of them are more important than the other, because people die,
Yeah.
sad and innocent people.
It, it,
Um,
it
yeah.
has come to me, though, that with this great shift that's happening,
Mm.
it's about life. It
Yeah.
isn't just about humans.
Yeah.
We're so hell bent. It's got to all be about humans, and
Yeah.
we're the most important. And my philosophy is that I just believe that the whole of life is going through a shift. Gaia
Hmm.
is going through a shift,
Yeah.
and life may be a form that we don't recognize.
Yeah.
So I'm curious about that. I think the animal kingdom's obviously going through a shift.
Mm.
Trees are definitely going through a shift.
Yeah.
Maybe that their cycles are coming to ends. The oceans, the fish, everything is life. Even rocks are life.
Yeah.
So in a different form. So I'm looking at it that way, not just about us.
Yeah. And I feel that there's a move more and more to our connection to life, not just as humans, but to um the trees. This time of year, it's like there's like a magnet drawing me to them because they just show themselves in their beauty when they lose their leaves, and it's just this, especially up here in Derbyshire. I was, it's these old wise spirits that are just so gorgeous, and I think that is a move that we're coming back to. I was looking at something the other day about art and how art has progressed, and how, from the rock paintings, the dimensions, there was no difference between the animal and the person. There was no difference between the there's it was just little two-dimensional things, but all in the same way. And so we progressed into us being the separated from all these other things and as this centerpiece of, you know, life, which I think is where we need to become more aware that we're not that centerpiece.
We're not. We're
Yeah.
just expressions of life.
Yeah.
And we've forgotten that. And I think that's the tragedy that's happened is that we've got so overblown in our own self-importance. We don't matter. We
Yeah.
think we matter. Oh my God, we do. But actually, life matters.
Yeah. 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 And it's
Yeah,
it's a hard pill to swallow.
it's a hard
Um,
pill to swallow, that one. Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
Sue, it's an exciting month. I'm excited about this month because I think there's a lot of things coming to fruition. We're going to finally see what's going to happen. Whether we're going to like it or not, it's going to happen. Hopefully, it's part of the process, towards the breakthrough. And I think it's the start of a very, well, it's not the start because we've been doing this for so long, but it's a pinnacle point in this shift, that I think we're going to feel more and more.
I don't even think it's a pinnacle personally. I think it's another level of evolutionary turning,
Yeah.
because that's what it's about.
Mm.
I've been looking at the difference between uh Cronus time,
Yeah.
Eros time,
Yeah.
and we live and breathe Cronus time, the linear time, that's the way it is, and Carrier's time is about the moment,
Mm,
the evolution of the moment. And I just feel like the great healing will happen when we actually reconnect with Carrier's time
mhm.
and we stop having our lives controlled and run by Chronos time.
Oh, amen. I completely agree. And I'm fascinated at the moment about the neurodivergent mind, specifically my son's, as to time is not Chronos. There's no Chronos time. He can't, it's not a concept that exists for him. Very much in the experience and the connection, the empathetic kind of compassionate, I see you aspect, which I strongly believe that the neurodivergent mind is the evolution of the mind and not a disorder in any way.
They're the
Only
new,
because,
they're the new humans.
yeah, yeah,
Absolutely. There's so many of them now.
yeah,
Um, I'm meeting people all the time with neurodivergent children.
hmm,
They're having to adapt so well. Obviously adapt so quickly
yeah,
because this is not my brain. But
yeah.
there's so many of them who've come.
Mm.
It isn't just a weird thing. It is,
No, or a disorder.
it's something different.
Yeah, and it's beautiful, and it's just about the system. It's about the only reason why it's being seen or experienced as a disorder is because the system hasn't evolved with. So hopefully in this time we'll see some movement in that as well. Um,
That's
that's my hope.
Pluto going to Aquarius.
Oh, hope, hope, hope.
Mine.
Yes, yeah. Sue, thank you so much.
It's just been a joy as always.
It has.
And we'll see each other next month.
We will, and enjoy your celebration today and tomorrow. It is truly a gorgeous time.